DreamHack Open is brought to you by Corsair, Monster Energy, Nice Cactus, and GGBet.
Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at the DreamHack Winter Open 2019, and with 3 games down today, there's only one left, and that, of course, is going to be CR4ZY versus SJ. Looking for some revenge, looking to get themselves into the playoffs on Sunday, but I don't think it's going to be all too easy. SJ came into this event with something to prove. They don't have many lands in their back pocket, but they do have decent land showings. And you know who always shows up to land decent? The 2 dorks to my left here. Mathieu and Christine. You're not French, Christine. Mathieu et Christine, ils sont ici à nos gauches.
Oh yeah, we can do it in French.
We won't. We won't?
All right, we won't.
We won't.
All right.
We can't do it to her. So guys, sorry.
It's all good.
It's the end of the day. I'm I'm coming unraveled.
I like that suave thing you had coming up at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, hey, girl. I like that.
Sorry, let me gather my thoughts. Ooh, all right, one more, guys.
One more.
SJ versus CR4ZY. And it's a matchup that I think means a lot to CR4ZY because they came into this event, they got knocked down to the lower bracket, they had to play versus what has been their arch foe in the last month and a half. They didn't get their chance at revenge versus Heroic in Atlanta, despite both attending the event. They fell to Sprout, this kind of out-of-nowhere playoff success, but this is where they find themselves now. And that is, again, versus SJ down in the decider match. They dispatched of Heroic, and they did so in a fashion. What are you laughing at, Matt?
No, I'm not laughing. I'm just thinking about CR4ZY, and I'm thinking, you know, this very things we say, what doesn't kill you make you stronger, right? Well, let me just tell you this. In the 2 first maps of CR4ZY, they won 10 rounds. 10 rounds in total at this event. They started losing 16-7 in the first game. They went to bed. They had a pretty much good night of sleep, I hope for them. They wake up the next day and they lose 16-3 the first map of their other game.
Right.
But they rose back, like the Phoenix, they're here.
Yeah.
They had to fend off 2 comeback attempts by Heroic. We thought they were down, they're not, and now they're CR4ZY, but to me it makes sense.
Yeah, most certainly does. I mean, with CR4ZY too, I feel like these guys are living on the brink. They are at the edge of the world. You know, they're as close as the cliff as we are, in the sense that they strike me as the type of team that either they are flying through group stages like they did at Atlanta and then just kind of falling flat in playoffs. Like they hit this kind of brick wall out of nowhere and you're disappointed because you thought it was going to be another event win. Or they come into events and they call completely flat. But they don't strike me as the type of team who gets to an elimination or decider BO3 and then falls. It's for that reason that I still put a lot of stock in CR4ZY because I feel like they were either going to just completely bomb out or they're going to make this comeback going. They're going to keep it going, and they have a decent opponent to do that against. I mean, we give praise to SJ because of their initial showings this weekend, but it's not like SJ are some god-tier team.
No, they're not. It was definitely CR4ZY showing exactly what they're made of, because on that Dust2 yesterday, we saw them fall completely flat. Then coming back into today, turning that 180 all the way around. The thing that concerns me just a little bit for SJ's side, we've only seen them play Nuke in both of their opening matches, and although they won one and lost the other, it's just not showing quite enough to have me fully convinced on this SJ train.
Yeah, fair enough, right? That's true. We've only seen one, and it's funny that you bring up maps, and we should bring up the maps, because the map pool creates a lot of the discussion and creates a lot of context around this game. CR4ZY, they have been self-critical of their shallow map pool, and we haven't seen that much from them. They got dumpstered on Nuke by Heroic back in in Rotterdam. They got wrecked on Vertigo today. Like, that hasn't changed. But when they find themselves on Dust2, when they find themselves on Mirage, that's where they can make things happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, for us as analysts, I think SJ is kind of a hard animal to describe, right? What are their strengths on a best of 3? They have played twice against the core of CR4ZY or Valiance before. They lost both times in best of 3. So they have surprised in the best of 1. They beat Heroic when no one expected that to happen. But you said it, we've only seen them on Nuke. What other maps can they bring to the table? If you're CR4ZY, do you just remove Nuke, you take it out of the window right now, and you don't allow it to play? Or do you do differently? I have a hard time knowing the strengths and weaknesses of SJ's map pool.
Exactly, and I don't think CR4ZY can afford to take out Nuke here, so that certainly bodes well for SJ to be able to pick that first. I'm hoping that SJ actually float the overpass though, because we've mentioned it since day one that Crazy's map pool is very shallow. That's one of their weaknesses coming into these BO3 series. And since they don't play Vertigo, they don't play Overpass, and they don't play Nuke, not playing 3 maps coming into a BO3 series certainly puts you at a huge disadvantage.
It is. And oh, well, you have it, the ban Overpass.
Okay, so this is a huge opening because now SJ have the opportunity to either pick Vertigo or pick Nuke. They have the cream of the crop here. Both of the maps, we know that Crazy kind of fall flat.
Yeah. I feel like this paints a picture for another little bit of a mini comeback in this series. Like, if Crazy fall on this first map, I won't be too shocked, regardless of whether it's Nuke or Vertigo. But what's wild, too, is, remember, Overpass, despite that being Crazy's general first ban, we also have SJ on a four-map losing streak on it, too. So Crazy kind of loses twice in that regard. They have to ban the map, but they have to ban the map that their opponent also is weak at.
There you go.
So here we have the picks.
The Nuke pick coming from SJ now. I know Neelam, I believe he's a hard worker, he knows what he's doing. They've played twice Nuke at this event, and I don't think that you have the possibility to reinvent yourself overnight. That's not how it is. If you play twice the map, there are certain rounds that you will play again, certain setups you will use again. If you're low on money, you're gonna go for round round A or round B. Your pistol rounds, you maybe have 1 or 2 to pick from. If you're Crazy right now, you know what's coming to get you on Nuke, at least. I'm sure of that.
There you go, Mathieu. What do you think of these last 2 bans and finding ourselves on Inferno?
You know me. Inferno is like, I can feel it in my bones.
Yeah.
It's always definitely such a good third map. I think this veto certainly is advantageous for SJ, which is kind of unfortunate for them being the newer team coming into this series. I figured that Crazy would get punished for not playing 3 maps, but we haven't seen it so far, not once.
Nope. And the thing also with Crazy, and one of the quality that I would lend them is that I could see them win a map that they don't know how to play. And that sounds very weird to say, but that is not a quality that I would give to anyone. But they have this ability to just take the game, take the rules, just throw it out the window and play crazy Counter-Strike, pun intended, and they can do it anywhere.
Exactly, and I mean, I think they showcased that perfectly at Atlanta, making it all the way to the semifinals with a ringer in Thomas. We gotta remember, Letney wasn't able to play with these guys, but they still made it all the way to the semifinals. So they're certainly used to being in this position where they have to adjust, adapt in the middle of a tournament, before a tournament, after a tournament. They've been there before.
In Atlanta, Letney wasn't able to play, and at the beginning of this event, we saw 2 players struggling to play.
Wait, what did I say?
You said that. You said that.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute.
Wait,
Guys,
I forget what I said.
This is about me. I'm just saying that at the beginning we saw struggles from Emmy and from Letney, and we have a video here with Emmy talking about this upcoming match.
To be honest, we always have a slow start on tournaments. Like, I don't know how we need to work on that. We start really slow and then we need to grind our way back instead of like coming into the tournament fresh and strong, you know, and trying to secure playoffs instantly first day. We usually choose to go hard way, but this time it's the same again, and we're gonna try to grind our way back. So we're playing SG. They're pretty good teams. They showed it on this tournament. They won against Heroic. I think it's gonna be a tough game. We're gonna try to prepare ourselves the best way we can. I think we're much more skilled, and I think we can beat them. So I hope we're gonna do it.
That's Crazy thinking that they are more skilled, and individually speaking, I can't help but agree across the board. We know there are some weaker pieces with them, but we only have a couple names to speak of on the side of SJ. Let's keep our focus honed in on Crazy for the current moment, because I do feel personally like they are still the favorites. And they said it. We didn't come in hot. We're going to do this the hard way. Because the one thing I know about Crazy is that these guys absolutely hate losing. And
they do.
You see that when they have their back against the wall, when the game is about, I mean, everybody hates it, but whatever it is, it seems like Crazy can pull out a new level when they are facing defeat. And that's what they are doing here. Not for the first time today either. They've already got, in my opinion, the hard job done. They eliminated Heroic. Now, can they eliminate SJ? Yeah,
and you know, when you're a player and you face elimination and you stare into its eyes and you survive it, there is a solace into that. You feel somehow freed from it, because I'm sure at some point during today, Crazy thought they were out of it. Honestly, that first map against Heroic, the way they lost, you think, man, that's it. I mean, they're never going to come back on that. And then you see that come back on the second map, and we have hands on our face thinking, oh my God, no. Are they losing this map? And they still survive it? When is the pressure going to leave you? I think at this point, they don't have any pressure anymore. They've survived the worst, and I think they're free to play.
We have a head-to-head here with Otto and Yempi. And Potter, do you have any specific feelings about this matchup?
You want me to take it away?
Go ahead,
I mean,
Matthew.
the reason we put these two together, first of all, that is a sort of a national rivalry, right? You have two Finns going at each other,
Sure.
two snipers as well. They said in an interview, Needham said it, that Odin, he knows them, they know him. There is some sort of an emotional fight into that, and I think it's very cool. You know, I'm a romantic. I like these kinds of matchups. But also, this guy on the right of the screen, Odin, we don't give him too much praise. We don't put him under the light. But to me, he's been the shining light for CR4ZY right now. On Dust2, he was the one preventing the comeback. He was very active, very proactive, and he had that little element of craziness, of ruthlessness that I want him to have.
Sure.
Sometimes I think he's a little bit too conservative, playing too simple Counter-Strike. I want him to go a bit insane, and he's done it on Dust2, and he's done it with style.
And we can absolutely see that, right? I think the one boding well thing for CR4ZY is that they have 3 members with the skill ceiling so high that we just don't know how good they can actually be with Ships, Esperanto, and Otto. But the great thing is, I think for them, is that they haven't reached their peak throughout this tournament so far. We've seen some crazy moments from Esperanto. He's been kind of quiet so far throughout this tournament. So if they turn up in this series even louder than they did earlier in that elimination match, this should be a crazy blowout, I think.
Yeah, whether it comes down to CR4ZY's players not yet reaching their ceiling, I want to take just at least a moment to give praise to Arvid. Because I think Arvid's been one of the players of these 10 who has been pushing the roof to a new level in terms of his individual play. He is exceeding his rating from the last 3 months by like 0.2 at this LAN specifically. And that is nice to see because I don't think Jampy was ever going to do this on his own. He needed a right-hand man, and that has to be Arvid.
No, absolutely, you're right. I mean, Arvid's numbers are good. He's been bench pressing his opponent like crazy. But to me, what I really appreciate about him is how he's thinking in the game and the decisions he makes under pressure, right? When you have a team that I would consider to be a rookie team, there's in other words, SJ, they're not used to that main stage, they're not used to that environment. And again, in game with high intensity, high pressure, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds left in the round, they make the right decision. That is a very rare quality to have. And Arvid, by my standards, always had the good positioning, the good timing, the understanding of the round, and this is something very precious that I value a lot.
Yeah, well, are you willing to put your prediction on it, Mathieu Kikere?
Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to money, you know, I don't really know.
Hey, we're talking money, bro.
Was that Italian accent?
I'm not sure, dude. I'm not sure where we are.
Are we doing prediction?
Yeah.
Okay, I do believe that CR4ZY, they survived the worst part of this event. I think they are activated now. It took some time, about 28 maps for them to be activated, but that's the case. So I'm going to put my Swiss money on CR4ZY.
I'm going to have to follow and echo that as well. I think CR4ZY have yet to reach their maximum potential, and this series should set them up nicely for that.
Yeah, I personally don't think that CR4ZY are going to get their grudge match revenge versus Heroic and then fall flat versus SJ. I think Jampy and Arvid are going to make this hard, but I think through and through CR4ZY, if they're making this much of the comeback happen, then let's go straight to the playoffs. So that's 3 on the desk, but how about you goons in Twitch chat? Where do you guys stand? I have a funny feeling it's on the side of SJ. Sure enough, the Finns have turned out in full force. I respect that. And for the record, me and Matthew are now tied up in predictions. That's the side note. No one's keeping track except for me. Harry and Hugo, are you guys ready to take this away?
As ready as we'll ever be, Connor. I didn't even have my headset on properly, mate. I'll be honest with you. But yeah.
Well, listen, we've got a bit of time here, so I'm gonna get you guys' brains bulging. Let's see where your predictions stand. Let's have some fun.
Ooh,
Let's have some fun.
And we want the reasons
you
why
know
as
what?
well.
I'm gonna lean with SJ, man. I think you know they're young, they're hungry. There's a good mix of talent there. The new, the old, everything's in there. And CR4ZY, man, thus far to me, they've still felt underwhelming, being honest.
Okay, Hugo?
Hugo, give us 3 reasons why.
Yeah. Well, 3 reasons why.
3 reasons why what? I don't even know who's going to win.
Why he's wrong.
But, well, I mean, we'll get into that later. But what I will give you is I think CR4ZY are going to win. That being said, I think it is going to heavily rely on Letny and Emmy to step up. Like you guys were saying a minute ago, I mean, they've had a rough couple of days. I mean, think back to that Dust2 game, the map that we're starting on for this series, that game where Letny ends up killing his teammate and losing the round, and they all just tilt and the game falls apart. So if we have those 2 players stepping up amongst the usual suspects, I've got my money on CR4ZY.
All right, Hugo. I like your reasoning, and I will leave you in the capable, sweaty hands of Harry.
Very sweaty.
Enjoy, guys.
Very sweaty, very moist, and that's the important thing. That's why there's so much moisture going on here. And I'm sweating as well because it's our last series of the day, right? And it's all to play for. Semi-final spot on the line. it's do or die, right? You either win and you keep going, or you lose, and your journey here comes to a pretty speedy conclusion.
Yeah, pretty clear at least. And yeah, fair enough for SJ for being in this position, right? They did well in that opening day to get here, and I think they have a really, really good shot up against Crazy. Of course, you know, this roster of this European roster of Crazy have shown what they can do in numerous DreamHack titles before, under numerous orgs and rosters, but right now this is going to be a bit of a test of the unknown. Harry, can they put up a fight against the new boys on the block, the Finnish Fiesta? It's SJ Gaming. We're going to have to find out. We're getting into map number 1. It's going to be Dust2 to start this series off. Crazy's pick, and let's see if it's profitable for them. Take it away, Harry.
Yes, indeed. Dust2 is the realm on which we will be doing battle now. And Crazy starting things off over on the T side here. SJ electing for that CT start. Early on, it looks like they threw a boost up onto Catwalk, right? Arvid repositioning back in towards middle now. The other two throwing up to try and contest this side of the map. And this is good. It's so common now to see teams go for this catwalk, split into the A bomb site. I think this boost up onto short is one of the best ways, especially in the pistol, of combating that, right? They've already got the information that catwalk's been taken. The USPs have a chance now, but it's getting diminished more and more by the second. They lose Artie back inside of the bomb site. And it's a 4-on-5 retake here inside of A for SJ Gaming.
Yeah, a real rough round to be in if you are on this CT side. A man down and no way back in. Crazy aren't giving fights up. They're not giving kills away. A couple of jiggles on the site, but Yampy can't find a shot to connect. Arvid waiting for a re-peek, and there it is. 3 players fighting at once, but still no kills. And at this point, if you're SJ, the pressure's on you. You've got to go. You've got to get into the site, and they're going to start to move. Yampy getting tagged, still gets a frag straight after. Karen dropping, and Arvid follows. It's a mess on this A site, and it's all coming up in favor of Crazy. A dominant pistol round to start things off, and really setting the tone coming into this series.
Yeah, and Letney already opening this round up with 2 pistol kills. He's someone I think it's going to be worth keeping an eye on, right? You know, back in the old iteration of this Crazy squad, back when they had, you know, Hunter and Co in here, he was a pretty threatening guy to run into. But I mean, to start things off at DreamHack, him and Emmy have had some pretty underwhelming performances. We finally saw them beat that curse earlier on today. And so if these two can keep spirits high and continue in this fashion, then that is a very, very good sign for Crazy going forward. Cat control taken once again. Gonna deal with both players over at the catwalk, and this attempted force buy, it's already out the window. ZY's got to try and do it all with this scout. He doesn't even have armor behind it, so every single shot is gonna send his aim to the sky. He'll have to back out and just give up this bomb site for SJ Gaming. This is looking like it's got to be a save already.
Yeah, no way back in. So scouts for the follow-up round, assuming they can get away, and that's an assumption in that because Zartu's been cut off. Ships has gone towards the top of middle, so no escape from long. You just got to stay in the pit. The rest of SJ holding onto their guns inside of B. Going to be that 2-0 lead, and money made for Crazy, who have 4 rifles, so definitely need clean rounds on these anti-ecos. And they will get exactly what they want. Zarty, if he goes around this corner, he's dead, so can't afford to do that. I think Yampy's going to be someone I can't wait to see on that AWP on this map. He is so good on that gun, especially on a map that really caters to it, that being Dust2, of course. But obviously it won't be for a bit, as we have another eco coming through for SJ before the buy comes up in round number 4.
Yeah, with the double scout held forward, there's always a chance to get away with a bit more than you should be allowed to in this round, right? Like if these scouts are able to get a couple of tags off, if they get juggled around, you can use them very, very proficiently to whittle these enemies down to the kind of doable realm of these pistols, right? And if you're Super Jimmy here, you're really going to be relying on these scouts finding a lot if you really do want to do anything in this round. already. With mid control getting taken by Crazy, the flashbangs and the smokes have done a good job of keeping these scouts at bay. The attempted short control from Arvid is shut down as well. Bit of tag damage there onto Ships. Flash to allow that cross at mid, and Esperanto has moved the scout out of position on the back of it. A's going to get taken, and with 3 players rotating in through CT, 2 of them armed with scouts, this is anything but ideal for SJ Gaming.
Yeah, it's looking like a third round for Crazy right now. Not much standing in their way. Scout's going to be held back in middle as they wait for Crazy to re-aggress in the post plant. Emmy may as well hunt. He's got nothing to lose on this MAC-10. And with 3 out of 4 of the CTs having no armor, I mean, that's going to be so effective. You already mentioned aim punch. Well, that is going to be a factor. Here is the crunch in middle. 2 players walking up, and one of them already gone. Emmy finds that. Doesn't see the scout, though. Just goes right past it. Luckily, Letney comes in for support, and Emmy actually takes him down anyway. Yampy sitting in the spawn, and no one coming his way either. He's going to have to back up into the firing line. Otherwise, that bomb could be a bit of a problem, considering he has no armor. Ooh. Look at how much damage was done this round. Crazy losing so much health on 4 players, and yeah, Yampy dies to the bomb as expected there, but whatever, he was going to reinvest anyway, and he goes straight in for the AWP in round number 4.
Yeah, we were waiting for that AWP on Yampy, and we don't have to wait long. Round number 4, it's already being shown, as you say. And he's gone straight into mid with it. That's ballsy, but equally so is this fast play out through long. Ships runs into the firing line, drops his own flashbang and gets away with a kill. Now they get into the pit, and Esperanto is not missing a beat. Well, maybe he's missing a little bit, but that doesn't matter. Gets a lot of damage done and is helped out there by Emmy. SA side's been long forgotten, though. They move away from it, albeit briefly. Now actually coming back round. Yampy's in position, but he's not ready for the player on short, and Esperanto's just going to dome him. So Crazy getting off to a 4-0 start here.
Yeah.
I think this is like the ideal situation for Crazy, and a really, really tricky one for SJ, because one of the problems with this squad, or a potential problem, is that, you know, you've got like the old boys of the Finnish scene in there, but then like your stars are very, very young players, right? And they're the ones who can get a bit emotional. They can crack under the pressure in these kinds of situations. And that's where we are going to be looking towards, you know, Zati and Karan to kind of, you know, rein things in a bit, right?
I agree with that point in general, but I think specifically for someone like Yampy, from what we've seen from the interview we had with him, you know, in the opening day of Winter and just everything else, he seems like a very mature professional, especially for his age. Dude, like, he seems like a chill dude, as Finnish people usually are. So I hope that the emotions wouldn't get the better of these guys. And right now, it's fine. It's 4-0 down. And at the end of the day, even if they get swept on this map, Harry, remember, Nuke is coming up next. That's a map Crazy do not like. And it's one that SJ have opted to play a hell of a lot here. So let's see what happens there. But for now, 4-0 lead, 4-on-4, and Crazy getting up catwalk with that bomb. Still a B-lurk to sell the fake, but no utility on them to do so. Emmy, ooh, that was close, but he catches Arvid getting aggressive. No flash behind it. Sadly, is going to have a similar fate. These pistols are coming up little for SJ. Maybe a jump shot, Yampy, what do you got? But in the meantime, his teammate's dead. He's actually crept under Esperanto. That's something. There's only one player on the site. There's a chance, a little chance, albeit, but it's going to get stripped away. And that'll be the strong lead, the double fist bump from Neil as well. That's when you know things are turning out well for Crazy.
Yeah, I always look at resilience as more of like a quality than a skill, right? I don't think it's something that you just learn or train yourselves in. It comes with repetition. It comes with, you know, easing into things. And I'm curious to see if SJ are going to remain resilient, or if this big start from Crazy is a real blow to the confidence. Emmy's over at long. He had the spawn for it. He'll get smoked out of the angle, so not able to get a kill, but not the end of the world. Is early days. Didn't take any damage for his troubles. Cat control's already been taken. Ships is up here. If you're looking at this from Crazy, they've kind of, they're right where they want to be. They've got control of Cat very early on in the round. They haven't had to use really any utility to get it. And so this leaves the playing field for them very, very open.
Just waiting in these aggressive positions right now. Hoping that SJ's adjustments, their rotations, give away a kill. We've got Caron considering some pushing into middle, but he will fall right back into the safety of the site. Crazy setting up for a mid to B right now. 4 players out in middle with Chips solo playing that tunnels. Now we have this AWP here for Yampy. Caron side by side trying to put pressure on the door. The smoke should delay Crazy, but they can come in through the window and just run through the smoke if they want. Zate getting an opening kill straight through. Arvid does connect the frag. Yampy's been mollied out at the back of B, and Chips is finally coming in through the tunnels. Is it going to go unnoticed though? The jump up is fantastic, and he takes the head off of Caron. 3-on-3 now. The bomb can be planted, but the retake is also on.
Yeah, one flash and a Molotov to try and force these players out of position and give you a gunfight that goes your way if you're SJ. Chips is just hunkered down at the back of the site, waiting to see if anyone tries to peek over the top of that smoke. Very heads up to be keeping an eye on that. Won't come through. Molotov gonna force Emmy out of position. He is tagged low, but he gets one. Mollied by his teammate in the tunnels. It's actually Zarty's to find him, but that might not matter. Sadix is already running for the hills, and this is Crazy, getting off to a 6-0 beginning. The good times only getting better right now over on this T side.
Yeah, I mean, difficult situation to be in for SJ anyway, right? They do a good job of holding on to B for a bit, but Yampy doesn't get a kill, and they get into a 3-on-3 post-plant. At that point, no kit, and plenty of utility on Crazy, just continue smoking off and mollying off the doors. Able to keep those Finns out of the sight for a good amount of time, but only an eco now for SJ with a couple of guns. Fast B again, Crazy. They've had enough. They are not going to be playing respectful CS in this series, I do not think. And that's a great shot from Caron, but it comes at a price. They've already lost the B site. It might be another retake scenario, and at this rate, that could just be a straight-up save. Everyone is here for SJ. That's the only positive to take away, but how the hell do they get through these smokes?
And not only that, right, like Yampy is the only player with really anything to offer in this retake, and he's not going to want to give that AWP over, right? He wants to stay alive with that in hand, and everyone from SJ is just going to bow out of this, back away. They'll let 4 players survive over on the Crazy side. It's a little bit worrying because Otto's going to be arriving at max cash only 7 rounds into the game.
Yeah.
If you're Crazy, you're literally set up now for the rest of the half, it feels like.
They're just desperately looking for exits, but nothing's presenting itself. Emmy's going to go down to the bomb, possibly, but it really won't matter if he does. 1 HP, obviously calculated. Part of the plan. Not nervous for a second. And that's a 7-0 lead for Crazy Harry. Absolutely splendid stuff here from this European mix. And SJ, they're coming back in with a buy. But if Crazy go back towards that B site and continually abuse this position, this could be a really rough half for SJ. I mean, it's already not looking good, but there is time to turn it around.
By the way, we spoke about Emmy having some rather lackluster performances to open up DreamHack. Well, he's 10-1 right now. He's got a 10 KD.
You'd love to see it.
The problem with having a 10 KD is it's only downhill from there, surely. Like, you're not beating that. But Ships up through short. Good nades to find the early damage. He goes running through, and a little bit of a reminder there from SJ. You know, like we're all down for you having some fun, but you cannot take those risks against us. They will shut him down, and now a mid to B play looking to come in. Letney, though, providing an equalizer there with that kill onto Zarty. Sadix, this could be huge. That bomb's coming. What? Letney's as fast as ever. Sadix had the drop, he had the read, he knew everything. Esperanto's gone through a smoke, and this round is done. This round is over.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that first kill that goes the way of SJ with Ships running through a Molotov, you think, that's just crazy, stop doing that. And then the next 2 kills Crazy get are just ridiculous. Like Esperanto pushing smokes,
I do
running
love.
up top mid. Oh God, get out. Go home!
That's what Neil M is yelling at them right now. Oh man, this is a bloodbath. Crazy 8-0. Tactical pause called in for SJ, but what do you even say at this point? What do you even say? Crazy are living up to their name. They're doing what they say on the tin.
Yeah, just ridiculous. I mean, you can see the confidence is there for Crazy, and in a team that very much seems to be getting in their own heads at times, that has, you know, players that do tilt being real. I mean, this is not one of those days, Harry. They have woken up on the right side of bed.
And I mean, that's the thing. Coming into this, I think if Crazy had approached this like it were an even matchup, you know, playing safe, playing, not scared, but, you know, like kind of playing how you're meant to, I feel like that's how SJ would have had a means of getting back into this game. The fact that from round 1, and it's only been getting worse, Crazy are just going for this disrespect style at Counter-Strike, that's how you get in the heads of the young stars over on the SJ roster.
Well, let's see if there's any resolution here for the CT side. Esperanto, he's out long. Do they realize is the question? They're going to check it anyway. You think Zate getting picked though, and Esperanto, it's an absolute killing blow out through long. 4 kills on the anti-eco, making it look easy. SJ, they had a smoke crafted for that. They cut him off alone. They smoked off the doors and he's still able to get them all. Ampy looking to stop this madness, but there's no stops on this bus. Crazy are already on that A site ready to plant.
I gotta ask, is it too late to change my prediction? When's the cutoff point for that? Because
I think 8-0. I think you've already hit the cutoff.
Yeah, I know. Maybe if I said it in the second round, there was a chance. But no. This is brutal.
I'm just like I said earlier.
You're looking to
I'm looking to nuke. It does not matter how dominant this game is. I still feel like SJ will be able to reset for a map number 2, for a map they know not only they're good at, but Crazy are not. And I think if you give up after a map, then you wouldn't have even made it to this place in the first place, right? You wouldn't have even made it this deep into the tournament. And SJ are not the kind of team who are just going to roll over and die after a few bad rounds. But boy, is this a few bad rounds. 9-0 for Crazy. Karen even getting tagged on the cross. And Yappy, he has just been avoided. He has been the last man alive in way too many of these situations. And that is making matters worse for this CT side. Zate, that's a pick. Finally, a man advantage for SJ.
Yeah, but Crazy, they've snuck all the way up here. They're only just now dropping these smokes, and so Zate might be a bit perplexed and not quite realize just how close these players are. Lucky enough, this utility, this barrage that Sadix is throwing in, has kept them at bay a moment longer, allowed that AWP to reposition. Zate's been burnt out by a Molotov. There's so much damage, but no kills are yet to come in, and it's Emmy, in with 2, 13-1, by the way, continuing to rise up through the ranks. And just when you think maybe there's a chance for SJ, they get the opener, they get the first man, but that is the only man they get, because Emmy's not missing. 15 kills, 1 death. This is nuts right now.
I thought you said it was only down from here, Harry. It has gone another level up. 15-1. It's not every day you see that, and Crazy have taken double digits.
I feel like Emmy's KD is like a cryptocurrency back when they were popping. Everyone's looking at it like, nah, it's falling, it's going down at some point, but it just keeps on going up.
And now it doesn't.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see if Emmy coin is going to be too valuable in the future. Right now, it certainly is.
Another tag on the mid-cross, obviously, just to really rub salt in the wound here. Good shots from Otto down middle. Oh no, oh, that's a shot. Ampy finally getting a chance to fight. Karen gets wall banged. Last round he got tagged on the cross. This time, well, he just gets killed on the cross. Crazy going up catwalk though. Flashbangs to follow out middle. Forces Yampy back. Won't be able to grab that gun from Cat. Have to fall off this short position as well, giving away the A site right now to Crazy. There's no one here to stop that. They don't have the long control either, and we're Letney covering off mid. That's a great flashbang to stop him from cutting off rotations, rather. Bomb can get planted. Crazy can try and take control of long, but they don't know it's empty just yet.
Yeah, they've retrieved these weapons, so maybe there's a chance in this one, and they've got a kit as well on Sadix, so it's not to say it's impossible, but it's also not very likely, right? That's just the one problem. That 10-0 scoreline, you can't forget about it. You can't forget about the context that we're in. Arvid will get one, but that looks to be it. Sadix is going to bow out of the round. Crazy 11-0. And they're even hunting. They don't want to let him get away with the AK. I mean, they've got $16,000 on almost everyone here on the Crazy side, so that's fine. They can let that happen.
Surely this is not going to happen, Harry. Surely not. 11-0 right now, and no signs of slowing down.
See, you were saying, like, I think we can wait till Nuke. The one problem is, I think if you get 16-0'd, Nuke is... Nuke is going to hurt regardless.
Yeah, right. I just didn't really assume this.
No, yeah, I don't think anyone
that wasn't
did,
my
really.
plan. I kind of thought they would fill us some rounds.
Here's what I would love to see, right? You get one of these AWPs, you play him on the drop-down position at Catwalk. You then have him so he can fall back into that A site, because time and time again, Crazy just walk into A with SJ giving it up for a retake, and they haven't been able to retake that bomb site once.
No.
So I would love to see a bit more of a focus towards trying to win that initial fight on Catwalk and then falling back into the A bomb site, just so you've got one man there.
I mean, the only man advantage SJ have had in all these rounds
was
I can recall
with
was
the AWP over at Catwalk.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
This is holding some promise. This is shaped up exactly how I wanted this default to come in from SJ, right? A player in CT, one in the bomb site, now 2 over in middle. Zarte's dropped off, that's fine. You can watch out for this mid to B, because the one danger for SJ, they've been very conditioned to worry about these Catwalk plays, these A plays, and so they can't forget about that B bomb site. And so having those 2 CT players allows for those rotations, and it will be the A play. Now we get to see if this was the answer for SJ Gaming.
Oh, here's the AWP, ready to shot and drop. Letney's coming around the corner, but he's setting up utility. Flashes might get Zarte off this angle before he can fire, but he gets a tag. Letney down to 15, that's not the frag that SJ wanted. They wanted the killing blow, and now Crazy, they've been set up for this mid to B play all round long. They had a man in the tunnels to bait out utility. Jampy is alone at the back of the site, but this boost could be so good. 1, 2, and finally the trade from Otto. Is that going to be enough to get SJ their first round?
Yeah, that bomb is dropped back in mid. Otto was going to go on the tunnels rotation, and so that decision there cost them the round. SJ, they're going to pick it up there with that little boost over in mid, helping absolutely to cement that one. Arvid with 2 from this position. Stellar stuff from him, and I think Zarte even was able to get one through the smoke there. So it all falls into place, but it's only 1 round against a huge deficit on the other side.
Oh,
is that going to be enough? Otto's gone for the long spawn. Flashbang. Ooh.
Yeah, it was real risky there to delay the shot. Like, I know it's timing, right? But that's risky. Oh, dear. Arvid in spawn. He's going to get 1. Trading onto Emmy as well. Finally, that KD has been ruined. But, hey, 16-3. I think he'll take it. As Crazy are down a man in this 4-on-3. Arvid with 2 to his name here in middle. Gonna just play these CT boxes. Yampy's gonna hold on to that B site, and he needs to nail at least the first shot as they come through the tunnels. Oh, great bait though. Letney jumping, and that gives him an opportunity. Otto's cut off a rotation. Yampy needs to buy time, but he can only get 1 kill. Well, is it gonna be enough for the retake is the question. Esperanto planting for tunnels, and that's where Otto comes through with that AWP. Low HP though, and utility being set up by the players on the CT side. Zarte, oh, that grenade could be everything, and it's gonna dunk, but not enough. Not the kill to Otto. And now the 2-on-2 retake. Sadix is a long way away, and he is sneaking in through the tunnels.
But this is where this decision to hold off on the bomb plant for so long could come back to punish SJ. Otto now has to have his head on a swivel, but he's going to catch the timing. Sadix had been quiet all round. He'd snuck all the way through T-spawn, and even that is not enough. Esperanto with a double of his own, and Crazy 12-1. They snatched that round away from SJ. It was looking promising. It looked like they had a chance, especially with that wrap from Sadix. A huge kill from Otto, catching that timing. The real defining moment of that round. And now it's back to the drawing board once again for this Finnish CT side.
What is the answer to this? 2 AWPs, but none of them armored up here in round number 14. Sadix is close on long. First time Crazy haven't really put early pressure on this position at the start of the round. They've usually like to get a player out towards the dumpster or set the best spawn up with the AWP. Not going to be the case. Instead, the majority of T's up towards Catwalk once again, setting up utility. Yampy's going to get a kill towards tunnel. Ships peeking into the site. And so Crazy might not want to commit towards a late mid to B. They may as well just get up Cat and try and take A. And with that kill, that will send them forward. Zarte, the second AWP, removed from the round. Letney with a big opening frag. Crazy looking to commit once again. And SJ, they've got to play for retake at this point. These retakes you mentioned, Harry, have not been good at all for the CT side. And once Crazy get the bomb down, that could continue.
I can't think of a game where I've seen this many Catwalk plays just end in a flat retake with no control really anywhere else on the map that's of value, right? Like the only player who is in a decent position is CR4ZY, who just waited his time out back in pit, right? That's really all he could do in that situation there. And even then, even with him being there, they've still had to clear out the long doors. They've still taken 20 seconds extra to make that happen. Emmy's fully flashed. Letney's dealt with as well. Arvid doing the damage, but there's just no time. Even if you get in, even if you get on that bomb now, you're still hard-pressed to get this round, although those kills... Oh, it's so close. Oh, it's so close. Just by the skin of their teeth. The second round for SJ. Maybe I'm getting a little too excited, though, because it's only 2-12 heading into round 15. Last of this first half coming up.
Still, fair enough for Caron here. Those are some nice shots, man. Double goose setup. There should always be a trade there, and all it took was one kill. And yeah, Crazy win that round, and they closed out the half likely, you know, with only one loss. That would have been money broken for the likes of SJ. So fair enough that they actually get one near the end. It gives them the option to go 3-12 and a half. If they do, you know, pistol, anything's possible, Harry, but I'm not holding out for
I was going to say, I noticed you didn't really sound like you were believing in much of that.
I'm just saying, like, the alternative, if you go 14-1 down, the game is almost definitely done. If you go 12-3 down and you win pistol, there's a chance. But 14-1, pistol or not, you just not got a buffer to play with. At least now they could have a buffer. They don't even have it yet. So,
Wow.
Well, pretty ineffective.
Bullet time over in mid, man. They just walk through the hail of gunfire, and they live to tell the story. No damage taken. Hilariously, like every time they cross and it's just an AWP looking mid, someone got tagged. And when there's an auto spamming it, everyone's fine and dandy.
I imagine Crazy were hoping for a pick off that so they could hit the B side, but nothing getting presented their way. So they'll just take Catwalk carry. I've heard they like it this time of year. And there's not much to stop them either. This AWP is posted up for Zati. Even Crazier playing methodical enough to not let him get away with a kill. Flashes up, pushes him back off the angle. He can re-aggress, but now no one is up for the chopping block. Crazier playing passive enough. Re-smoke on short, there's a gap there, and someone might try and exploit that. Back towards long they go. CR4ZY is pushed up. Once that smoke fades, does he stay or does he go?
He's going to hang around, hold this corner. With 3 players coming his way, it's very, very tricky to get more than 1 or 2 from this position. If he doubles up, he's fine. He's actually moved off of the corner and down into the pit. That's going to give him a bit of a safe haven, but he gets stuck out on a limb there. Ships will get the trade, and at least helped out by Arvid up on the catwalk. Missed shot from Zati. Not the second time around, but Otto is able to deal with him. And Esperanto, as Esperanto often does, is cleaning this up elsewhere. That bomb is going to go down with milliseconds to spare. And now it's Yampy, the young gun, the man that has been spoken and toted of as the next up-and-comer to keep an eye on, left in this 1v2 clutch in round 15.
But surely not at this rate. He finds the angle, Otto holding it, and Yampy's going to take this into a one-on-one. Esperanto has been having a cracking game, though, and more than ready to swing off the back of any audio he hears. Yampy doesn't realize he's on long, and Esperanto goes out wide. 19-5, 13-2. Crazy are storming through this map. Can they keep it up? Can they close it out, or will SJ have the comeback to talk about of all ages? Find out in just a second. We'll be back after the break.
An absolutely crazy first half has rustled the yimmies of SJ. And now, with only a few rounds to their name, and I mean a few, 2 over on this T side, the comeback would be a thing of legends. But we are a long way from ever believing in that. Crazy have looked so damn pristine here on Dust2. And that might just be set to continue.
Couple of raid bosses in play. Yampy's opening pistol round on the first day. He got a 4K with this, so let's see what he can do. Ooh, it's a bit more messy as he gets double peeked. That's information that Crazy have a heavy long setup, and the grenade does further damage. He's going to back off. concede long. But at this point, SJ have just dedicated 30 seconds to hoping for a pick out long, and now they've got no map control in the slightest. They've got to regain T-spawn, clear out the B tunnels. We're likely just going to see a bit of a rush into that B bomb site. Those two utility players are still active though, and with a couple more at the top of middle, maybe it's not the commitment straight off the back. Yuppie getting caught as Otto reaggresses. A huge opening kill for CR4ZY as one of those two P250s have been lost in the nether zone. SJ, I'm guessing this is just the mid to B. What else can they really do at this point?
I mean, they've got no real estate elsewhere, right? They've got nothing else to work with, so they've been forced to go for this mid to B. There's a huge gap in that. You cannot make that mistake when you're up against CR4ZY in this form. And oh dear, Zati, nice kill. We've seen a couple of big Glock 1v5s. Let's say a couple. One from Jerry earlier on, and this time not able to replicate it. Hardly can say I blame him though. CR4ZY winning the pistol, 14-2. Dust2. It really feels like the rest of this just becomes a formality now, right?
Yeah. With this buy, I mean, this is to keep them in the game, really, right? They lose this, they have nothing. So, 1 scout and 4 pistols, or a likely map victory on CR4ZY's pick. Oh, better run. It's getting hot in the long doors. Sadix gives it up. Just spreading out, looking for picks, hoping CR4ZY over-aggress, and that's an opportunity over on B, but Letny 2 HP. Even gets tagged by his teammate while jumping. Will survive, just. SJ looking elsewhere, but there's actually no one on A. CR4ZY have a double long setup and a player in CT spawn, that's it. But SJ don't know that. Otto's rotating back to deal with his cat plate. Not going to spot Yampy. He is looking at the ground to get across from this position, and he will get pretty deep. Otto tagged up is going to need some support.
Ooh. A literal blinder of a shot hit there. He couldn't see him. Gets him through the box, and that has opened up this A bomb site. But Emmy is already hot on their heels, hounding down SJ. But he will get put down by Sadix there. The Deagle chiming in for one. Are they ready though? Because Ships is already in. And he's pulled it back into a 2-on-3. Man advantage resides with CR4ZY, but Letny really is the walking dead at this point as he shambles up through short. He's left this round in the hands of his teammates. Yampy swinging wide, will get one, but that is it. That ship has sailed, is now map point for CR4ZY. 15-2 and 1 away from taking their map pick in a ludicrously dominant fashion.
Yeah, this really sets a statement coming into this series, right? We talk about New coming up next and how that is definitely a weak point for CR4ZY, who have somewhat of a more limited map pool than some of the other teams we'd see at this event. But goddamn, Harry, 16-2 on Dust2. Well, forget the map pool when you've got that up your sleeve. That being said, yeah, still, I'm uncertain what to think now moving forward. But let's see if we move forward now or later, as CR4ZY have to win just one more on this pick. Molly out long segregates these two players, but they eventually get positioned towards the A side of the map. And he's got to be careful if he wants to get up on top of the site, because they could be round the corner, and they are trying to be. Boost up instead will be a better call. And CR4ZY, if you look over at B, Ships has so much info. He's cleared out the front of tunnels. So right now, CR4ZY can afford to stack 4 players towards the A side of things. And they've got 2 down in CT watching for this cross as well. Sadix, nice shot, contact play. Doesn't see the second player on the boxes though. Emmy's on the site, hiding in the smoke, buying time. The Sadix, second entry of the round. And this might be an opener for SJ.
Oh, Arvid catching the timing out through mid as well. Will get cancelled out quickly on behalf of Ships. He's got that AWP in hand. Who's wrapping around over towards long as well. That bomb plant found. Zati Scout not able to answer the call to duty there as he falls almost immediately. Otto and Ships moving in. This was a 2v3, now turned 2-on-2. That bomb planted out in the open. It's a catwalk plant, but the catwalk man's gone and Ships is there to cement this. He'll take that clutch into his own hands, gets the trade, grabs the defuse, and with it, grabs the 16-2 victory there for CR4ZY.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. You love to see it for Crazy. Not even breaking a sweat there. Neil must be feeling very comfortable after that dominant victory. But is it going to be enough? That's the question, right? Nuke on the horizon. The Nuke coming up next being the pick of SJ, and one that they have been certainly formidable on as well. Crazy have had struggles on that map in the past, and we really just don't know what to make of it, Harry. The analysts are the same. No one knows what's coming up. But really after that one, you've got to be all in for Crazy, regardless of the map.
Yeah, I mean, I even said I thought SJ could take this, and even now I'm leaning the way of Crazy, right? But I mean, the one silver lining at least is, you know, like SJ, they're coming into this, they're already the underdogs, and if they can pull it back on a second map, if they manage to complete that, well then, you know, maybe then you start to get Crazy feeling a little bit worried. I don't know, I'm really struggling to paint much of a picture here, right? After a 16-2, there's not much we can take away from that. So now the question becomes, you know, do they have it in them? If they do, my word, like, props to them, right? But it's gonna take a hell of a lot. We cannot reiterate that enough. We'll find out exactly how that second map of Nuke goes down after a quick break, so don't go anywhere.